But yeah, just for our listeners, I'm going to quickly run through her studio albums. Mm-hmm. So Baduism was her debut in 97, and she actually brought out a live album that year as well. Mama's Gun, what we're looking at today, came out in 2000. Worldwide Underground, 2003. Then there was New America Part 1 and Part 2, which came out in 08 and 2010, respectively. And then her most recent effort was a 2015 mixtape called But You Can't Use My Phone. I don't know about you, but one thing that strikes me is, considering she's been recording music for nearly 25 years, she doesn't actually have that many albums.
Yeah, she's not prolific, is she?
Yeah, that is not aimed as a complaint or a dig, because I think we'd both rather take quality over quantity any day.
I'd say a lot of musicians are quite focused on having release cycles going all the time these days. So yeah, you're right. It's good.
Because I think that's tied to the fact that she's said herself quite openly that she considers herself a live and performing artist rather than a recording artist, if you like. And one thing I did think about that recently is how the pandemic is going to impact that kind of mindset. Whether, we might see loads of music being released, in the next year or so. But an interesting side note: have you seen some of the shows she was doing during the pandemic?
Yeah, well, she was not to not let herself kind of be demotivated by the pandemic. She was still doing live shows remotely from her house, like the whole, what was it called, it was a quarantine concert series. Because I think that they started off, I think she did a set of 3, and the first one was kind of her just chilling on her bed. But then by the end of it, they were doing it in all the musicians were in these massive plastic bubbles, like big zombie balls. It's called Live from the Badubatron, I think she did. Yeah, and then she was charging fans to watch it, and she did it a couple of times. If those later ones, the production value is staggering. It's like, how during a pandemic has she managed to get, because I'm not sure if you saw this all, but there would be she'd have multiple rooms. So there was a black and white room she'd play in, where the band would do bossa nova covers of her tracks, which are all sounded amazing. And then at the end of the song, she'd be like, that's from the bossa nova room, now let's go to the futuristic room, and then they all go into a different one of these weird pods. She deserves so much credit for keeping stuff fresh during the pandemic in a live sense, for sure.
Yeah, mate, I definitely need to check these out, actually. But yeah, sorry, going back to Apex, I think I've got an idea of what you're going to say.
Yeah.
But who knows, maybe you'll surprise me. Where do you think Mama's Gun sits in Erykah's career?
Okay, so let's kind of try and take each one as it comes. So Baduism, obviously an amazing album, but I think the first 7 songs on that album are clearly the really strongest.
Strong.
After Next Lifetime, it does drop off a bit.
Drop off a little bit.
Exactly. Worldwide Underground, I would say, is probably her weakest album personally. It's not bad by any means, but it's just it's not as interesting or novel as some of her other ones. New America Part 1 and 2, I really like New America Part 2. I think that's an amazing
Part 2 is
album.
Really good.
And then, but You Can't Use My Phone, I also really, really rate. I know you might be a bit surprised about that, but if you want to talk about
a little bit
how neo soul was,
she made it in 2 weeks, didn't she?
Yeah,
the mixtape,
with some little grubby looking
completely unknown producer from
Dallas. She's always very big on kind of promoting people from her hometown. But I love that album. Surely to you, Ollie, that's a pretty
all
natural.
The bedroom DJs out there, take inspo big time.
Yeah, you could be
on the next Erykah Badu album.
Well, they don't need any encouragement, mate. They really don't. Stop spamming me your SoundCloud stuff, please. But yeah, no, I think that mixtape is also amazing. I'm not sure you can count it as a full album, but yeah, leading very swiftly onto Mama's Gun, which is just her best album. It's the most consistent. It doesn't ever really let up. There's maybe 2 duddish songs you could argue, but the instrumentation, the productions, it's so lavish. I think it's the peak of her songwriting. Maybe she's got another classic album in her, later in her career, kind of a Black Star kind of thing. What do you reckon?
I hope so. Yeah, I agree with you. Mama's Gun is the best. I do think props have to go to Baduism and New America Part 2, definitely. So if people listening haven't checked those 2 out, or if you like Mama's Gun and think I want to listen a bit more, maybe check those 2 out as well. But yeah, I think we're pretty much agreed, aren't we, mate? Mama's Gun is the apex.